Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast, Summer House Edition, Season 10, Episode 7. I love this show so much. I was in tears at this episode.
It was such a good one in like every capacity, too.
This show is so good. This show is so good. I can't handle it.
Have it. I don't know what I would do in my life if I didn't watch this show. I'm getting so many people to watch it, and I like give such a great elevator pitch for it.
Same. And there's a lot of people. Meredith, today I just got a compliment from my friend about your quotes.
Oh, that's so nice.
She said, I always watch it the day after it premieres, but your podcast page already has the quotes on. So I like reading the quotes, and then I like watching the show and being like, that was one of the quotes. So keep doing it on your timing. I got a full from Julia. She doesn't listen to this, but my friend Julia.
Okay. I love it. I just think there's so many funny quotes in this show specifically. I've obviously done it for other shows too. It's not as fun there. But this one has some great one-liners.
No, it's fantastic.
They're not beats to hit necessarily for us to discuss, but I'm like, I can't let those go when I'm watching.
Yeah, they're funny and like, yeah, got a compliment on your timing for that. She loves reading them first. So,
I love that.
Pat on the back to you. Okay, before we get into the episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description, and please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, Meredith. So previously on Summer House, Kyle got Amanda a birthday present for once.
Big news, breaking news.
KJ and Dara are hot and heavy. Bailey made a bad joke and then Ben berated her about it. Kyle's broke because of Loverboy, so he's DJing, but Amanda isn't happy in her situation. And Wes misses Sierra, but doesn't know what to do about it. So it is Saturday, July 26th, 8:24 p.m. We're playing Truth or Dare / Spin the Bottle. I don't really know. It's basically kiss or do a truth.
Yeah, no, I got really confused sometimes because it seems like if it landed on a person, you kiss them and drew out of the bowl of where to kiss them or what type of kiss.
Yeah, and then if it landed on a green lover boy, it was a dare, and the red lover boy was truth.
Yeah.
Okay. But mostly it was landing on people. So we're sitting in boy-girl order, and Ben sits right next to Bailey.
No.
She's like, this is a nightmare.
As somebody who specifically sits down in places to avoid or like assess where I am, this would send me to the moon because I would have tried so hard not to sit next to that man.
Yeah, it was bad. But okay, so then Amanda's like, hey, if you're married or dating, and Ben is the one that's like, no, there's no different rules for married or dating people. We're gonna all kiss. And I was like, Ben wants to kiss Amanda because he wanted to fuck her. I don't care.
What I'm hearing is Bailey wasn't totally wrong.
I'll run with this rumor because it's so goddamn true. He wanted to fuck her, and that's okay. You can see a hot person.
That's okay.
You can see a hot person and be like, I want to fuck them. And then when you become friends with them, be like, I don't want to fuck them anymore because I've learned they're married.
In an innate way, you're hot, I would fuck you. I won't because you're married.
Yeah, but like when you first meet someone, hi, how are you? You're like, wow,
I immediately think what I
would fuck
person.
them. Yeah. And then you meet their husband and you're like, oh, never mind.
Off the table now.
Yeah, I don't even think about it. So, whatever. Ben's just hoping to spin Amanda and get her lips.
Hey, if he has to do it in a game, I'll help you have the cover, Ben.
So here's some of the kisses. Amanda kisses KJ's cheek. Kyle kisses Jesse on the mouth, but they do a little stage kiss so their thumb gets in the way. Ben gets Bailey and he has to make out with her, and it was a really good kiss, apparently.
It looked pretty good. You would have not known that these two had beef the night before.
Yeah, and I'm happy they both did it. Because me, if I fucking hated you, I'd be like, stay kissless.
But also, like, in the group, everybody else is putting it on the line, so you gotta play.
My eyes would have rolled into my head. I would, are you kidding? Yuck.
Yeah.
Even though I'm like, this hot Australian wants to kiss me, but gross.
Well, it's harder because Bailey did want him. So, like, had that not happened the night before, like, this would have been everything to her.
Yeah. Literally. She would have, like, chopped a little piece of hair to keep from his head in this moment. Yeah.
For, like, her junk journal.
Yeah. So Levi kisses Kyle's cheek, Sierra pecks KJ, Jesse gives Wes a little smooch, and then Bailey and Sierra make out, which I was like, put me in the middle. Okay. Hot. So then Ben is dared to jump in the pool naked, and we see his ass, which is a lovely little butt that Ben has.
He's a good one.
It. Yeah. And then Jesse and Levi make out, which is so fun because they have such a height difference that both their necks are going to hurt.
Oh,
because they do it standing.
I enjoy like a good height difference where you kind of get bent back a little like that. Like I enjoy that, but this was drastic.
No, this was like his shoulders were hunched and she was on her tippy toes and still couldn't reach. And then all of a sudden, the house clocks it, but Wes thinks he's being sneaky. He straightens his leg and fans it to the side so that his socked foot is touching Sierra's leg.
And like long term, not even just like a poke to like egg at her in a friendly way, a friendly banter. It is like, I cannot be without touching you, but let me choose the furthest part of your body from me. So I have to reach for it.
Yeah, and I'm going to try and be secret and I'm going to try and make it look natural, but I'm in a full V at this point with my legs.
Yes.
Like, it was so weird. And Sierra's kind of like, what you doing? And everyone kind of clocks it, but we leave it. And then Kyle gets to kiss Amanda, which they don't do a lot, apparently. He really needed that kiss. This is embarrassing, like, for both of them at this point. I'm like, your marriage is a scam.
This is the first time I was like, oh, I kind of feel bad for Kyle. Like, if he hasn't kissed her in forever, like, I understand wanting intimacy in your marriage, and that does make me sad for both of them. But Kyle's like, yay, I get to kiss my wife because there's a game.
Normal married couples would be like, I kiss them all the time. Give me someone.
I bet they peck all the time.
I think so too.
And there's nothing like this type of kiss.
Yeah, which is, like I said, a normal married couple would be like, damn it, I just want to kiss someone new while I have the opportunity. But no,
where's
not
Ben
them.
When I need him.
Yeah, not these two. They make out a little, and Kyle's like dickmatized. He's like, oh, I haven't had that in forever.
Oh my God.
Which means they're not having any sex. If they're not kissing, woo! Okay, so Wes then pulls his chair over to be closer to Sierra. Thank God, because the leg was stretched. This is more normal.
Okay, yeah, the way he's touching her is more normal, but like the act of getting up, moving a table just to scoot your chair over so you can touch her back is crazy work.
He puts her hand, like, grasps her back. Not even just touches it, grasps it. And Sierra's kind of like, what the fuck? And everyone notices. And Sierra's like, it's clear we miss each other and the friendship and we're attracted to each other, but this is like a weird state of limbo. And also, like, what is he doing?
No, this is like above and beyond anything I would have expected for them having no conversations.
But oh my God, I loved it. I'm like so simp over them. It's so terrible.
In the moment watching this, I was very excited, and I can't wait to talk about the tomorrow morning conversation because it totally changed my view on this. But I do want to also say there was a mix with editing. You have to watch where the table is during this entire like evening to see like what order things were happening in, because later, like when they joke about Wes and Sierra kissing, the table is back in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, and I hate whenever they play with like the timeline like that when there's an obvious difference.
You just got there because it's not, well, according to editors, it's 9:09 p.m. and this is where everyone's like, Wes, Sierra, make out, which I'm glad they both say no, because like, not the time when you actually might have feelings for the like.
Agreed, because like the Sierra and Jesse thing is like, I don't want this to be a joke. This isn't a joke to Sierra. Like, she's fine joke kissing everybody else in the house, but this has real feelings and is like something serious.
It's been real feelings on both ends. There may still be feelings. They're still figuring things out. That'd be like, it's not a joke if like Lindsay and Carl kiss. You know, like some things are just like, you can't joke about it. And I know everyone was probably being like, they both want to kiss, which might be true, but like, it shouldn't happen this way. It's not a fun for flirtation. It's not like, we have a crush.
And it's like
deeper.
Getting weirder because they already had that moment where everybody was just staring at them when his arm was like on her and he was like, what? Like, nothing's going on here. Like, I'm gonna fight you. Like, I was just like, okay, this is getting super weird. So like knowing that like saying they should kiss happened before the arm touch makes me feel better about like the tension rising. Is like, you guys should make out happen first, and then Wes moved the table and like doubled down on the touching of her. Yeah,
it's a strange situation, which I also think everyone was really drunk. So like,
Well, I forgot that they went to that winery beforehand and they're hammered.
Seriously,
Like,
they're
in
so
my
drunk.
mind, they're like casually drunk. No, they are
They've
drunk.
been drunk.
On the edge of blackout. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle is so aroused, he has to cover his boner with a pillow. Gross.
Oh my God.
Throw the pillow away. So now it's time to rally. So the party starts. We start playing music and dancing. Bailey goes upstairs to her room and Ben follows her there, which I'd be like, go away. There's a man stalking me,
Don't
but whatever.
come to my safe place. You already yelled at me in this room. Don't do it again.
So they talk about the kiss, and Ben says he didn't feel good about yesterday, like, you know, basically berating Bailey. And he just wanted to check in on Bailey and, like, let it go. And Bailey was like, Ben, I don't want to hate you. I used to think you were hot and funny. And Ben's like, you can think I'm a dick. And she goes, maybe. And he's like half funny, half dick. So they're good.
Like that.
But Bailey says the crush is dead, which I get. The minute a man
100%.
talks to you like this,
there's no coming back.
no, goodbye.
Yeah. At least for me, there's no coming back. But I'm happy
Never.
for the sake of living in this house together. I'm super happy that this conversation happened and that Ben is the one to take charge to make that happen.
Agreed, because though I don't think, I still stand by what we said last episode where Ben was like totally fucking ridiculous. I like that he recognized it was still awkward and that was on him and the way he handled the apology. And then he was like, hey, I wanted to check in and let you know, like, I'm good, you're good, we're good.
Agreed. And this makes me like him again just as a general person in the house because everybody fucks up. Like, you're not going to do everything perfect. And so this was like a bump in the road. And I'm like, okay, you are a good person. You do notice these things. Yeah. Cool.
Bad moment. Yeah. So then we all go to bed. Wes hiccups his way to bed, which I found hilarious. He's the worst. So dry. If you're hiccuping, you are.
This is scary though, because you're like, am I going to start throwing up?
Well,
that happens to me sometimes. Always, if I'm really drunk, I'm like, oh no, this is a bad omen.
So it's Sunday, July 27th at 9:53 a.m. The house starts to wake up. Amanda denies Kyle a couple shower this morning, and instead she lets Kyle shower first. And then when she showered, she leaves him and goes to Sierra's room, which
obviously
I get it. So Sierra and Amanda hang out. And then West finds Ben and Kyle and Jesse on the couches. So we have two separate conversations happening. But the girls basically talk about how they're getting old, their asses hurt. And then they talk about how West was touching Sierra. And Sierra's like, West was just like very overly flirty. And Amanda's like, it's because you're way too nice to him. And Sierra's like, oh, that's totally it.
No, I love it.
And then the boys talk and Wes is like, I don't remember anything. And
this
they're like,
pissed me off.
So you don't remember like grabbing Sierra the whole game? And he's like, nope, don't even know. And he says that there's always something between them, but they haven't had a real conversation. And so he doesn't know if this means something to Sierra, which tells me that it didn't mean much to West.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I think, you go first and I'll tell you my hypothesis.
If you cared about her and wanted something, you wouldn't say, I don't know if this means something to her. You would be like, I am worried because, like, I feel like I can't control myself anymore. Like, it's coming out of me. Like, I just want her and I don't know what to say to her. And I don't know if she feels the same. Instead of just being like, I was hammered. I don't remember any of this. Like, that tells me that, like, this wasn't done with intent or desire. This was just truly a drunken connection
almost. Yeah, like we've been there.
And that makes me really sad and really pissed me off and like completely erased my giddy feelings that I had when I actually watched the event.
No, you're right, because remember how they released like the first 7 minutes and you were like, I'm not going to watch it? I ended up watching it and I got really giddy, but you're right, because the rest of this episode, I didn't really ship Sierra and Wes. I was kind of like cold on them. But can I tell you my like, I know we talk about it all the time, but my genuine thought on this is Sierra genuinely is like the perfect girl for Wes. I really, really think that this is like someone who would match with him so well on every level. Yeah. I don't think at this point, even probably today, Wes has gotten over his commitment issues or whatever they are to like actually commit and stay around, which tells me he doesn't like Sierra that much, but I really don't think he's ever gonna find someone like Sierra. I think he's gonna compare everyone to her, and these commitment issues are gonna fuck him up. over and over again.
It's that taxi cab theory that people say, like, whenever, like, a guy is ready and his light goes on, if you're the one, like, he'll settle down, but that doesn't mean he's, like, in love with you. And I don't want to say that, like, West's feelings aren't there enough. I think it's that he isn't willing to choose his feelings and dive in deep versus the fear and everything else. Because also there's, like, career things he probably wants to do and doesn't want to settle down. That isn't just connected. It's not all tied to the commitment issues. There's a lot of those reasons.
There's a lot of fear there that he's not willing to take the chance for.
Yeah. And I totally resonate with him on that because, like, I have a lot of issues when it comes to, like, commitment and wanting a serious relationship.
But you wouldn't get in the relationship and then leave once you're official and then try and go back.
That's the thing, is I am, like, great for 6 weeks, I tell people, and then I'm, like, in and out. And that's not enough to do serious damage to someone like he has done to Sierra. Like, that was, like, months of that. Agreed. And so he takes it too far, too serious, and then backs out of it. And so I think that's unfortunate. But I agree with you that I think Sierra is, like, a perfect fit on, like, all the personality, the morals, like, how they live their life, if he were ready.
Humor, like, personality. As we're talking, you know what? Wes is the opposite of Lindsay Hubbard. Lindsay will fall in love with the tree if it might love her back. Yeah. Wes is like, perfect girl, no way. I can't commit.
You're Lindsay's so right.
I'll commit if it's the last thing I do.
And she'll stay in way too long, whereas, like, he'll leave way too early.
Yeah, they are like...
They are yin and yang, two sides of the same coin, which is crazy. Because they, like, I think, make a real connection very quickly, but Wes doesn't know when it's, like, so real he should stay, and she doesn't know when it's so not real she should leave.
That is so funny. Okay, so it's 11:31 a.m. It's time to leave and go back to New York City, baby. So on Monday, we have Bailey who calls Carl, which this is what I miss from Summer House. Have her stand on a random street in her dress when it's 1,000 degrees in New York City, no wind because her hair did not move an inch, and call a cast member. Make her do that.
I couldn't agree more. And also, she looked amazing.
She looked
low
incredible.
Bun, that dress.
My
fucking love her.
She was sweating her ass off. The other thing is, I need to know where the street was because Carl was on speakerphone and there was zero background noise.
I know.
I need to know where this is.
Maybe they recorded it from his side, but, like, unlikely.
This was insane, yeah. So she calls him, asks him for some coffee, maybe lunch, catch him up on the week, because he was very missed by Bailey. And she even, like, in the house, I guess, woke up and said to Levi, like, she missed Carl. Which at first I was like, are they going to date? But then when she hangs up with Carl, she goes, oh, he's so cute. And I was like, oh, no, kiss of death.
They kiss in the trailer. So, like, they're... it could be a truth or dare type of moment again at a table, but there is something going on here. And I think they are the right amount of awkward for both of each other.
I agree. I think they'd be really good together. Unfortunately, I think Carl has this disease where he is seen as the cute friend.
Agreed.
And, like, I don't want that for him with Bailey. Bailey needs to get over that because the hot Australian's not coming at you. But you know who is? The very nice, sober man who will go running and then pick you up a bagel.
I agree with that.
The one who's too nice.
I don't think that anything is happening because KJ was on Watch What Happens Live, and this was one of the polls of, like, do they work or could they be something? I forget the exact wording. And KJ was like, no. And I was like, oh, so nothing is happening. Because if something was happening, he would have been, like, coy but he was, like, so awkward, like, no.
Oh, I feel like that would be such a good pairing. They're both so weird. But, like, in a really cute way. Because, like, the way Bailey hung up on Carl, where she was like, he's so cute. Like, I would do that with Bailey, too. Like, I'd be like, she's so cute. You know? And
I know.
Oh, damn it. Anyway.
I know. It's frustrating.
So then on Wednesday, we go boxing with KJ, which I've been to this exact title boxing.
Really?
I only went once. But, you know, if I see KJ in another class, I will let everyone know.
Oh my God. No, you have to go up to him and talk to him. That's our guy.
Oh, of course. I'd be like, excuse me, are you KJ and Dara? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, can you guys teach me how to box? And then as we're boxing, I would do a live interview. This is boots on the ground.
Obsessed.
Yeah, so Dara's here. We learn that she was born and raised in Boston, which where's your accent, girl? I'm just kidding. I
She
just love a
clarified
Boston.
online, and she was like, the suburbs outside of Boston, don't come for me.
No, I get, as someone from Chicago, I am from the suburb. I get that. It's like they'll come. But where's your accent? I love a Boston accent. I think they're
Me
wild.
too.
Anyway, she says she was a physical kid growing up. Her mom made her start hitting a boxing bag before school to get all her anger out. So, yeah, it's good they're boxing. However, Dara's like, hey, KJ, teach me how to box. And I was like, she's just on these streets raw dogging her boxing
That's the
bag.
thing. I was like, oh, the boxing bag you got, you just like right at it.
She's
with
Boston
no force.
Strong, baby. I love a Boston Strong. And Dara likes to playfully flirt. She likes to kind of shit on the man, which I think it's so funny she does this with KJ, because KJ is so nice.
Yeah.
Like when okay, so basically they do their boxing thing, and then KJ's like, hey, we have a party this weekend. You should come. And Dara's like, okay, sounds good. And he goes, bring pajamas, which was kind of hot. But Dara then responds and goes, is that the best you've got to ask me to sleep over? And KJ goes, yes.
It reminds me of Shane and Ilya in Heated Rivalry, where like Shane takes everything exactly how it's said, like no like sarcasm in it, and just truly answers everything honestly.
He tries to be hot for like 1 second and be like, bring pajamas. And then when he's met with, is that the best you got? It's yes.
Yes, that is.
Genuinely. That's
But
all
I can
have.
see how Dara and Wes like probably got together, because like that's some banter that would be good. Like their flirting was probably epic.
Oh, Dara and Wes had such a fun time, and I bet she was just like, he's a terrible man to date. I gotta go.
Yeah. She wants the qualities of KJ, but like has the banter and in a friendly way too with Wes.
But here's the best thing is KJ and Wes are friends, so KJ has to have some sort of like a quality that kind of matches with Wes. And so I'm sure he can also kind of banter a little, but he's also sweet about it. And I love that they're still dating. I'm fascinated by them.
Oh my God, I know.
I'm fascinated by them.
She was out Watch What Happens Live.
No, they're so hot. They're like posting pics together. I love that. Which I also love because a lot of people who get together on shows decide to wait until it's aired. And then they are like, we are still together. No. These two, there's a long list of proof.
I like that they're like, no, the public can know. Because I bet that they had to keep it a secret until the show aired. And so from the moment that the season started and Dara was on it, then it's like fair game. Yeah. Give me all the details. They are not ashamed. They don't want to hide it. And I love that.
I love that. So then on Thursday, we go to Kyle and Amanda's apartment. Kyle is a zombie. He hasn't been sleeping well. And Amanda's like, well, should you cut back on one of the 12 ventures you're doing? And I guess previously he had to fly to Dallas for 12 hours to DJ. But Kyle's like, hey, girl, I don't know what to cut back on. I guess the DJing brings Kyle the most joy, and it connects the dots with Loverboy, right? He's able to go somewhere for free while they fly him out. He makes money on the gig, and he's able to get Loverboy into a venue without having to pay, because what people might not know is a lot of times when you're trying to get your beverage into a bar, you pay the bar or the venue.
And you don't know if it's going to like work. So you're proving that you can sell this, but the problem is like Kyle can only sell it probably when he's there.
Listen, Loverboy's not bad. It's just not in enough. And I've said this before when I'm like, they're always drinking it in New York. Where are they getting it? Because I never see it on the menu. That like, I just don't think it's in enough places.
I agree.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
He said that they've lost a lot of distribution over the years, and his distributors have not been reliable outside of like his New York distributor. So like that is very stressful. Like I can't imagine being in the business that he is.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
And like grinding out and like having this big bubble in it for it to deflate slowly over the last few years. Like, I really commend him for like his business ventures, and I understand the DJ thing, but you can't expect for Amanda to pick up the weight for you changing your life.
While we're on the business topic really quick, I also thought that when it first came out, I was like, this is going to be rough because he's competing with a new like White Claw product. He was competing with Twisted Tea. Truly was like, it was already a really saturated market.
Loverboy came out at the start of like the bubble like building. Like Twisted Tea
yeah.
was the only one out. White Claws and those were not out at this time. Or they had just
I don't
started,
think
but they didn't
had the teas
like
yet.
mainstream.
It was just like the carbonated.
Yeah, the like
liquor.
seltzer thing was like building. So like he got in like on the ground floor.
Yeah.
But the problem is you're a small venture. The Anheuser-Busch's can come in late and like make their Bud Light, you know, seltzer and like their teas.
Yeah.
And they already have the brand name for this. So
that's
it's like
what I meant.
An
is
uphill
like
battle. Yeah.
You're competing with White Claw, who can easily also like has already saturated the market of like, okay, college girls loved us because they don't like drinking beer or whatever. We can also get tea. We can also do this. And they already have the branding. Okay, anyway, back to Kyle. He tells Amanda, he's like, hey, I'm going to sign with a manager to help me book better gigs that pay more. And Amanda's like, hey, how long are we doing this DJing thing for? Because, like, I married Loverboy. I didn't really marry a DJ, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Amanda also says, like, she gets that Kyle is stressed about Loverboy. But, like, she's trying to figure out where he's at with this DJ thing because they don't talk about DJing. Like, she's known about Loverboy since the pandemic. He's been fucking freaking out about this since then. And Kyle says, like, DJing's gonna be a long-term thing. He's in nightlife now. He's gonna be traveling, playing late. And he says he's making money doing DJing and getting Loverboy into places. And he thinks Amanda just doesn't care about his employees because he's really doing it for them. He's trying not to do layoffs. And some of his employees have families. So Amanda doesn't care about them. And I was like, that is so ridiculous. What the fuck?
Because she works for Loverboy too. Like, she doesn't have her, like, original corporate job. She quit her job to work for Loverboy. She knows what's on the line with Loverboy. But you have now taken your DJ moment from this is for Loverboy to now I want this for my life. And that switch up, she doesn't know about. And she's allowed to critique it without you bait and switching her into critiquing your DJ career as if she's critiquing wanting to support people and who work for Loverboy.
Which is also ridiculous because these are her co-workers too.
Yeah.
And if Kyle does do layoffs, it directly like reflects on her as well because they're married and they both are chief officers of some sort, right? What a weird reach. And two, oh my God, how many times have we said this? He can do the DJ thing respectfully.
Yep.
He's just choosing to stay till 6 a.m. He's choosing to do late night shows. He's choosing to travel all the time to make all the... You could do it respectfully. You could probably find so many clubs in New York that want your DJ set and then you DJ and go straight home. You're choosing not to do that.
Yeah. And I'm really curious on the business aspect, how the partnerships have been going when he goes to, let's say, Kansas City Power and Light and DJ's there and he gets his drink in there. How long is it staying? Is this actually a long-term solution for Loverboy? Or again, are you using Loverboy and the need to, like, to put Loverboy into bars and restaurants to go out and DJ? Because if you do want to truly be a DJ and like we want to close shop at Loverboy, I really don't think Amanda would have that big of an issue if Kyle did choose DJing over Loverboy. But again, it's about the respect part. It's how you go about doing it. And it's such a reach to say, oh, if you don't like let me go DJ, you hate the employees. Like they're not tied like completely together. Yeah, they're like cause and effect on like how one business does to the other, but he always thinks the worst of Amanda. So to think that she doesn't care about those people is just crazy and it pisses me off.
Also, like, yeah, if he wanted to be a DJ and shut down Loverboy, that means he has usually all day to then spend with Amanda. Her issue is he's never home and he doesn't care about her and he doesn't spend time with her. So, okay, become nocturnal, but then during the day when you wake up, those are your Amanda hours, right? Because she's asking, like, we work a 9 to 5, come home after. Why are we going to DJ all the time? And also, no offense, because I just don't know, but this DJ career can't be good for the business of Loverboy. You're spending so much time, like, traveling and DJing, right?
I don't get that. Like, I'm always so curious about people. I want to sit Kyle down and like, have him answer all these questions.
I want a business consulting meeting with him. Because then also, like, I know a lot of CEOs at founder companies, like I've worked for them, they do usually step back and they aren't involved. But that's not Kyle's vibe. So I want to be like, how involved are you? Because the point of a CEO founder is you hire employees to do the business for you and you try to sell your company once, like, everyone else has their area.
You have the right people in place.
Yes, that you shouldn't do anything.
I always think back to Winter House when he was, like, even working at the Winter House. He would not take a vacation. And the big plot line there was that Amanda and him haven't been on a vacation in years. And, like, we saw the flashback to when Kyle was, like, trying to book a vacation with Paige for Amanda's birthday. Like, that's always been talked about, how he can't step away from Loverboy. So I don't get how you have the time now when the business isn't doing well. Like, yeah, you can put the right people in place, but if your business is receding and backtracking, you'd think that you would want to be even more hands-on.
I'm fascinated. We need to, like, sit down and just be like, look, we'll never publish this, but, like, can you please tell us your business plan? Like, I'm so curious.
This is the one time where I'm like, I'm such a holistic person. I need to know the, like, full cycle and the full understanding of something. And this I cannot wrap my head around or even, like, make assumptions on because it doesn't make sense.
Like, the financials, just, I'm curious about his personal and business financials as an accountant, because also he founded Bird Dogs, right? Which is like a good company, which he sold. Yeah. He had like another company that I think he sold. So there has to be some cash flow. And he does Summer House for 10 years. There has to be like some cash flow he has.
Absolutely.
So where'd it go? Like,
they're like rich people poor, I think, where they're like cash poor.
Okay, but they have assets. Okay,
he has ownership of that business, obviously. Like, they have enough income probably to, like, pay their rent, but, like, to live the life they want to live, probably not. Like,
Got it.
I mean, their rent is probably so... I mean, you know New York market.
Oh, my
like,
God.
I always think about these people when we see their grand apartments. Like, you're insane for this. There's no way you're saving money.
The way, if somehow we did, like, a Bravo version of Cribs, where we just learned how much... all these apartments in New York. I'm not even concerned about like the Beverly Hills mansions. I want people who are renting in New York to tell me how much their rent is and take me along and let me see how many bedrooms and shit. So I could be like, is this worth the price? Yeah. Show me the neighborhood. Show me your balcony. Like, I need to see it. As someone who lives there, I'm fascinated.
I know, because in Carl's audiobook, he talked about this, that he was in so much debt going into, like, the 2020, 2021 season. So then when he was getting, like, sober and his, like, brother died and he was getting sober, he had to keep showing up for the show for the money. Like, he could not stop the show, even though, like, him trying to get sober was in direct conflict with, like, filming this show. Yeah.
I hope he's out of the debt now that he's opening a business.
I think he's in a much better place. Okay. But
damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Thank you for coming to finances with us. Let's get back to the show.
Anyways, back to the fun part.
It's Friday, August 1st, 2:31 p.m., which, may I say, I was like, oh, we're not going to get Bailey and Carl's date. Okay. We just hopped back to the Hamptons.
Why the fuck would you give me that goddamn phone call and give me nothing? It was, are you hungry? For nothing.
No, literally. Feed me nothing. I'm so upset. So we go off to the Hamptons. Carl, Wes, and KJ are driving down together. This is where Carl's like, Bailey and I met for coffee. Was it a little date? Not really, but they did flirt, which their flirting was literally talking about how they were maybe flirting with each other. Which
I'm so embarrassed by these two, but
because
they're on the same page.
Here's the thing. They're so cute and so aligned, because if someone said that to me, I'd be like, check. I have to go.
I'd be like, okay, do I really put them down and be honest and be like, are you delusional?
Be like, we're flirting? I thought this was weird. The production made me come. I don't... What?
No.
Anyway, but Carl had a lot of fun. It was a lovely little lunch. The boys are like, did you kiss Bailey? And he's like, no. And Wes is like, that's for the best. You can't kiss at lunch. And I was like... damn, I didn't know that rule. Because if you're a reality star, you don't work at 9 to 5. It'd be weird to kiss if you're a 9 to 5er at lunch.
No, but like your first kiss at lunch is crazy.
I don't know.
If they'd kissed in that, like, spin the bottle, I know Carl wasn't there, like, and then they had another kiss outside of the challenge, kind of like Love Island. Okay, yeah, maybe you kiss at lunch, but
maybe we were leaving lunch.
No, I would murder you if you get, obviously not
and
you.
Vanderpump Rules, Angelica and Shane had their first kiss at lunch after fish tacos.
So right, and that was fucking weird. You know that was weird.
It was only weird because of the fish tacos.
Not because of the daytime?
No, it could be light when we kiss.
Not for me. Not for me. I need all shadows of darkness.
Oh my God. But, okay, Carl's vibing with Bailey. He finds a depth of conversation with her that he enjoys. So he does have a crush.
He's
and
serious.
I love how Carl just gets crushes on any girl that's a little nice to him because Lindsay for so long was so not nice.
New Carl is, listen, like, let him be.
Also, we're sad because this weekend Bailey isn't coming. Oh.
I was pissed. I'm like, we didn't get really their date.
We don't get lunch.
We don't get any more.
We don't get any flirting at the summer house.
We're really missing out here.
The fuck was the point of that phone call? Okay, so then Mia and Amanda drive down together, and Mia tells us that her and Sierra went to Miami for her boyfriend Scott's restaurant opening. Mia is very proud of her boyfriend, but also frustrated with him because they're doing long distance. But you could be two things at one.
Do we know if they're still together?
No, I'm sorry. I've done zero research on Mia.
This is the first time I thought about it at all.
I assumed. They seemed very stable, so I just assumed.
I just think that this must be hard. Like, whether they are together or not. Like, not for me.
It's giving Danielle and Robert a little.
Okay. But
yes. I liked Danielle and Robert. If you can do the long distance, that was their only issue, was the long distance, I think. Or it was their main issue.
Even whenever he was in the Hamptons, he really just gave her no time. He just worked,
yeah.
Because she would go out to, what was he, in Aspen or like Vail?
Yeah.
And so, like, I think if you would have the flexibility as a career to be able to go kind of somewhat follow your partner, like Mia being able to go to Miami for an event, go see him every once in a while, like, that is helpful. But when I am there, you need to give me time.
Which I doubt he was, because they were at a restaurant, or like he's opening a restaurant, and also like she brought Sierra because she knew he was going to be busy.
The opening is different, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I thought so. I'm very I think I could do this distance. I'm okay with like long distance. I've never had a problem with it.
Not with a restaurant tour. I couldn't do both of those things.
I could maybe. So like... But I assumed we'll look it up after this, but I just assumed because they're like very stable.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing a party this weekend because Kyle is turning 43, which I just say 50 to round up, but
hey,
you know.
That works for me.
He's 9 years older than Amanda, and I was like, my God, that is an age gap. Listen, it doesn't get into weird yet because I don't like age gaps. This one's fine with me. But Kyle and Amanda right now are hit or miss because even Mia's like, I'm getting not great vibes from you. But Amanda's like, this weekend, I'm going to put on a happy face for his birthday. And I was like, isn't it sad that with your husband every weekend, you have to try not to hate him?
No, it's giving me flashbacks to that Carl and Lindsay season.
It's giving me Katie Holmes, who already knew she was divorcing. She was just trying to get her life in order. Amanda is this century's... No, she divorced Tom Cruise this century.
I think Kyle is not as bad as...
Oh, no. But like... I call it a Katie Holmes. When you get everything set. You get everything set, and then when you leave, you go, here's all my papers in order. You fight nothing.
Cut off.
Yeah, goodbye. So it's 3:13 p.m. Ben and Kyle are first ones to the house. Kyle's like, hey, it's my birthday. Age is just a number. Who wants to act your own age anyway? And I was like, sir, I act more 43 than you. My back hurts, and I can only go out once a month. What are you talking about?
Nobody's asking you to act like you're, joining a retirement community. They're just asking you to act like you're an adult, not a college student.
Grow up. Lindsay's here. I love Lindsay getting out of the car and being like, I'll give you 5 stars if you give me 5 stars. So Lindsay really cracked me up for the 10 minutes she was in this episode. She really sent me.
She's amazing, and she just reminds me that she's the right amount of chaos always.
Oh, good. She's so good. Jesse's here, and him and Lindsay hug, and she's like, hey, if I want to make out, I'll let you know so we can joke about it. And he's so like, okay.
She doesn't miss a beat even though she hasn't been there in a while.
Yeah. But Jesse and Sierra are good because because he brought her suitcase because she's flying from Miami. And then Mia and Amanda get here. And then at 4:26 p.m., KJ West and Carl pull up. And they're pumped because their pool basketball hoop has been delivered.
And these are the bits I love to see on Summer House.
So they go to the backyard and KJ's like, hey, I did see Dara this weekend because everyone's like, you still dating that hot girl? She's coming for the party and she's going to stay over so everyone can see their vibe then. Calm down, Amanda. She's so in his business.
It's funny that we as the audience obviously know way more than these people because like we know she's a full-time cast member. So obviously like this gets serious and she's on the show a lot more. We know they're still together. It's like funny to watch these people be like, you dating that girl? And we're like, oh, you mean this very important part of the season? Yeah.
Amanda's like, so do you like her? And I'm like, girl, they're in love. What are you talking about?
I'm like I could never be a time traveler because I'm like, yeah, of course.
I love KJ being like, you could see the vibe for yourself. And I'm like, yeah, tell these girls to get out of your business. They should know already. They should
don't
know
know
the
what
vibe.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
hell
it's
yeah,
incredible.
KJ. Tell them to shove their asses back in that house and shut the fuck up. Anyway, so then, this is my favorite part. Sorry. Carl and Lindsay come face to face. And Lindsay goes, hi, Carl. No, she goes, hello, Carl.
Oh, my God.
And he's like, hi, Lindsay. And they're so awkward. They talk about haircuts because Lindsay's like, your hair looks different. And he goes, I just didn't put product in it today. Is yours a little shorter? And she's like, yep, I got it cut. Whatever she says.
She says it's been the same.
It's been the same, whatever. I was laughing too hard because this is so...
Hey, we have to be lucky that it didn't get to weather. Like, that is code red.
It's fine, though.
Bad.
It's fine. And, again, I know Lindsay is abrasive, and everyone probably feels bad for Carl in this situation, but Lindsay's the one that looks at him and goes, hi, Carl. And she's the one that goes, your hair looks different. Did you get it cut? So we're making some sort of conversation, because if not for Lindsay, Carl would be like, hey, are you still mad at me? And then it would get awkward.
Here's the thing. Carl has had to, like, lead the conversation or start it every other time that he's seen her. So, like, I'm thrilled Lindsay is starting to ask him a question the minute he arrives. And when it comes to the abrasiveness, like, Carl's known her for years and they were best friends. I don't think he takes her abrasiveness as, like, a negative. I think he just doesn't know what to say to her first. So her starting it, he was probably like, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I will also talk about her haircut.
I will push it right back to you.
Yeah. And I love Amanda, who's like, that was pretty good, you guys.
I was saying the same thing. I was like, nice.
I know it's so awkward, but what I wouldn't give to be around when these two come face to face, I'd be like, this is awesome. This is so funny.
Yeah,
this is so funny.
Ping pong back and forth.
So then at 4:51 p.m., Sierra's here. Wes has put up the pool basketball hoop, and no one cares.
No.
Oh, well.
I barely care, and I love a bit, and I don't really care until you play on it.
I thought it was kind of funny when he's like, guys, I built it. And then no one said anything, and he's like, all right, fuck me then.
Yep.
So Lindsay hugs Sierra, and her butt's out, but I don't think Wes sees because he's too proud about his basketball hoop.
I did. I rewound it. I was like, hell yeah, girlie.
Yeah, it was great. She's such a good ass. I'm so over it. I know I objectify her every episode, but it's so hard not to. She's so gorgeous.
No, here's the thing. I'm not going to stop commenting on how beautiful she is. I just will also comment on her other qualities to the same level.
Agreed. So Carl and KJ talk in Carl's room, and Carl's just in a weird mood. He's trying to be normal with Lindsay. He doesn't know what he's going to get with her, which I'm like, that's fair. That's Lindsay. But the best part is,
love it.
Lindsay doesn't think of Carl. No. The minute he's out of her sight.
That's what it is.
But I think Carl needs to just get that, like, what he's going to get from Lindsay is just, like, when they come face to face, simplicity. And then, like, the minute he leaves, there should be nothing. Just don't even worry about it.
Like, preparing for like, doing something wrong and her to yell at him. And it's like, get over the fear of her yelling at you, because if you piss her off, it really honestly has no effect on your life. Well, I think she'll care if he did something bad, but also, like, she's not actually in your core circle anymore, so who cares if this girl is mad at you?
I also truly think there's very little Carl would and could do.
Agreed.
To, like, piss Lindsay off. Like, obviously, if he's going around talking shit, but that's not Carl's personality.
Yeah.
So, like, he accidentally spills her purse over, I don't even think she'd be that mad. She'd be like,
I know.
You're a klutz, and then walk away.
The worst thing you could have ever done, you already did, is break up an engagement on camera, and you're not going to do it again. So
don't worry, you're good. Yeah.
No worries anymore.
Also, Carl and Bailey discussed Lindsay at their little lunch, and Bailey told Carl that Lindsay's review of him is 2 thumbs down, and that's really bummed Carl out. But listen, if it's your ex that ended your engagement, of course the review is 2 thumbs
I am 2 thumbs down, especially a month and a half before the wedding. Yeah, that's a rightful review.
Yes. I have exes who have done way less to me that I would go 2 thumbs down for.
No, I'm like, that's it. That was so kind of her. Like, just... meh.
Yeah, she could have sat there. Knowing Lindsay, that's how little he's on her mind.
I know.
She's just like,
she knows a lot about you, both being like your intimate partner and your best friend. Like, she watched you through your addiction and your sobriety. Like, that girlie could probably tell some stories, which would be rude to do. So, like, 2 thumbs down. That's a win.
Pretty good, yeah. But KJ's like, I get it, dude. I'm always like thinking about feelings. I was like, some men have too many feelings.
I ruminate about a lot, but also like, I'm not going to say that on a reality television show. I'm going to be honest with you.
You know the saying, men used to do war? They used to go to war. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I love Carl and KJ, and I think their emotional intelligence is beautiful. I'm not used to men being emotionally intelligent, so seeing it gets me
I'm gonna make fun of it.
I have a lot of feelings about it, and I'm the one that needs to be better. But let me tell you, one time a guy best friend of mine got mad because I made fun of his college, and he didn't talk to me for a week. And my dad, this is who I grew up with, my dad was like, what the fuck? Why does he have any feelings? Like, get over it. And I was like, oh my God, he's entitled to his feelings. And my dad's like, men don't have feelings. And I was like, so that's the environment I grew up in.
100%. I think that's really good to acknowledge, because it's hard for us to just A, not make fun of men, and then B, make fun of feelings.
Yes.
So the jokes write themselves for us.
Sorry.
But however, we are proud of you. Please keep up the emotional work you are doing.
Carl
so sorry. We will continue with the comments.
Carl is so emotionally intelligent. I can't even handle it.
Very much appreciate it.
He's done so much work, which is what we're asking of men. I think if more men did the work and normalize this, that'd be better.
I think this is a good discussion to have, because like, we just love a bit and a joke, especially on this podcast, but we do ask for those things and want them.
But listen, the bit is, we're equal opportunity haters. Emotional intelligence or not, all men suck, especially the straight white ones. So we don't discriminate.
2 girls having this conversation, I would also make fun of them for. So don't you worry.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about their feelings. Ugh. Anyway, so the girls hang out. It's Lindsay, Sierra, Amanda, and Mia. And Lindsay's like, hey, Sierra, I heard Wes was rubbing your back last weekend. Lindsay, tell me I'm wrong.
To the point.
Lindsay gets calls from production before she shows up and is like, this is what happened. These are your beats. And Lindsay says, say less.
Think so, because I think she is filming a lot in the city, and she's getting these conversations. We're not seeing them, because she had lunch with Bailey, and I think her, Amanda, Sierra talk all the time. I think generally there's like a lot of group texts that happen, and so I bet she's asking like, oh my God, how was last weekend?
You're
so,
right.
Like, she's getting the tea on her own.
You're right, but there might be a productions assistant who's like, Lindsay, don't forget to hit that beat for me, and she's like, I got it.
I bet that production is telling Bailey what to hit with Lindsay while going in, but they want to capture all of those conversations naturally, if possible, 100%. Because any breaking news, any big reaction Lindsay would have could make the cut.
Listen, Lindsay is perfect production plan. Once you tell her the beat, she's gonna know.
She doesn't even have to be told. Like, she's been doing this for 10 years.
You're
like,
right.
There's
she's
a system. If she wasn't getting information, she would probably call production and be like, the fuck's going on?
That's true. Her and Kyle truly are the best some of the best reality TV stars in the sense of production that I've ever seen.
And Paige DeSorbo often talked about how, like, they knew and discussed behind the scenes of, like, we do not have these conversations off camera. They always held things for the weekend. So I truly do believe Lindsay is keeping true to that.
She has a notes app of, like, all their things.
Of, like, waiting to have conversations with people. And she wants more filming scenes. So she is probably hustling during the weekday to get these scenes filmed,
She's so
even if they're not
smart.
making air.
She's my favorite. I love her so much. Okay, so anyway, she's like, hey, what's going on with Wes and rubbing your back? And Mia's like, here's my theory. Wes is in love with Sierra. And then everyone's like, oh God. And Mia's like, nope, I think that's true, but Sierra doesn't have to be in love with him back.
True.
And Amanda says, look, a lot of work would need to be done if anything were to happen.
Yeah.
And Sierra says, even if Wes was in love with her, he would never say it. Which is, there it is. So it doesn't even matter. If he's not saying it,
that entire
doesn't
conversation,
matter.
so spot on. Like, I do think Wes, at a core level, does love her.
He's in love with her, yeah.
And then I think Sierra is constantly questioning, like, should she be in love back? Like, what can she do to, like, fall in love, like with, I think she loves him still too, but, like, really be in love with him and, like, have that actual love and be with him, or, like, to pull back and try to dampen that. And then also, I think he'll never say it out loud.
I'll never say it, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So Lindsay asks if the whole history of Sierra and Wes, like, out of everything, like, everything happens, would Sierra ever give him another shot? And Sierra kind of thinks about this. And Lindsay's like, for example, I would never give Carl another shot.
Oh, that was clear, babe.
We
Thank
knew.
you.
Amanda's like, we got it.
Did you hear that, Carl? You can't break up with her twice.
Carl opens the window at that exact moment. I would never give Carl another shot. I love her. Anyway, Sierra says it's probably not at the point of Lindsay and Carl. So maybe. Because if that's the scale, if that's the hard no, anything is a maybe.
Well, I think it's kind of one of those, like, never say never moments, whereas, like, the Carl and Lindsay, yeah, you can
that's
say
never.
never. That's a clear cut, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
But that's hard when you, like, still genuinely enjoy this person's time,
Agreed.
too, on the Sierra West front.
Agreed. I just really love the scale. Lindsay's like, would you rather die or date Wes again? Would you rather your whole family be kidnapped and murdered or
I'll
date
Wes?
Wes? And she's
Deal.
like, I would pick the murder.
She's like, tough choice.
Murder over Carl, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's 5:39 p.m. Wes is kind of freaking out because he doesn't know if he was cringed last weekend with the back rub because he, like, doesn't remember anything, which is rude.
It's crazy that he
annoyed.
blacked out so hard. He really has no idea. So, like, he had to watch this episode back and see everything he did.
Yeah. KJ talks on the phone with Dara. Oh my God. And then we have dinner. So we go to Kisaki. And the table is boys on one side, girls on the other. And Sierra steals KJ's hat because they're besties, and she looks way better in it than him. Sorry.
Dude, it pisses me off how she looks good in everything.
She can do
whatever.
You know those really, really, like, I don't know how else to say it besides, like, hot people who could show up in anything and they make it look like fashion. And I show up to a wedding in my best bit and I look like I'm going to work.
Yeah.
Like, some people just have it.
People like that wear those, like, weird long shorts, the jean shorts, you know, the ones I'm talking about?
Yeah, the really Bermuda
so
jorts.
fucking ugly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why do you look good in that? I swear I've seen Sierra in them, and I'm like, you're hot.
It pisses me off. Honestly,
I look
all
like
the
a
girls.
14-year-old boy.
All the girls on Summer House are like that, and I fucking hate it. But,
Sierra's
like, I love it for them.
cream of the crop, though, too, because, like, hats look so dumb on me, and she puts that hat on that doesn't fit her, and I'm like, hot.
It's an ugly ass hat too. It's like a golf hat, and she makes it look fashion. I'm like, do I need one?
Hat.
Do I want one now?
My
Jesus.
God,
Okay.
That's the thing. I can't have these type of people be influencers anymore because they make me think that I would look like that.
Where's
We're the normies.
Where's the normies? Imagine us being cast on Summer House and we're just around these people. I'm like, yeah, so I'm 5'2", and I don't look like, I don't have abs. So what are we wearing to dinner? Is it casual? Because if
I
it's
would
casual,
be in my t-shirt and shorts and, like, my rainbow sandals hanging out by that pool.
I just got off the farm and they look like couture.
Because we come from, like, Midwest Lake vibes too, where I'm like, I look like shit. If I'm by water, I look like shit. I'm not showering every day. I'm just gonna get dirty again.
No, truly. You know, the worst part about being on a show like this is you always have to, like, look good. Oh, the way I'd be like, I can't powder my face again. Like, I'm so over it. Actually, Leah from Love Island talked about the worst thing about being on Love Island was she had to beat her face every day. And I was like, yeah, go to the pool.
Yes.
I can't do this.
Irk me.
And then I can't get in the pool because my makeup and hair is... I'm jumping in the pool.
What's crazy, too, is the amount of work I do on my minimal makeup to look as good as these girls look waking up.
Yeah, oh, truly.
It's so heart-wrenching.
You don't want to see me wake up. It's terrifying.
I posted a video this week and I didn't have makeup on and I was like, I look horrendous,
okay,
but the content was worth it.
Yeah, gremlin. Yeah, all right. No one ever comments on our videos and goes, you girls look so pretty. We never get that.
Why would they? Thank God they don't say we look ugly. I know I do, but we don't have to say the obvious.
They know we know. That's how ugly we are.
That's true. That's so true.
They don't even have to tell us. They're like, they look in the mirror and they're scared to death. We know.
Yeah, no, I have to watch it back too. Thank you.
Okay, back to the show at hand. Lindsay looks at Carl, which I love, and she's like, hey, I heard you went on a date with Bailey. But she's not mad about it. She's quite excited because it's one step further away from her. And
Very
Carl's
true.
like, it wasn't really a date, but it kind of felt like a date. And he's like, also, Lindsay, I know about what you told Bailey about me. And Lindsay's like, what the fuck did I say? And he's like, you said 2 thumbs down for me. And Lindsay's like, no, I said Bailey should, like, go for you. And also, she goes, that was
crazy.
Lindsay says that was paraphrased. Because what she actually said was, he probably won't have sex with you, but he's a great conversationalist.
Which is worse!
Carl wishes he never brought it up. Carl
Alicia.
wishes he had taken the 2 thumbs down and been silent.
Shut up.
Yeah,
I am pissed. Why did we get this scene? Like, where the fuck were these Bailey scenes this week?
I love that Carl's like, I'm coming for an apology, probably. And Lindsay's like, nuh-uh. I said worse stuff, and she paraphrased it to sound better to you.
That was so kind of Bailey.
You want to call me out at dinner? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not giving you an apology for 2 thumbs down. I'm going to tell you something worse.
And then Carl's in his interview was like, first I'm a fuckboy, and now I don't have sex enough? What is it? And I was like,
that's true.
You knew it was just a low blow. Like, your ex is gonna say this shit about you.
And, like, you guys didn't have sex. So, like, that's okay. We all know why. Like, also, you guys shouldn't have been having sex. Like,
it's a funny joke because, like, these couples that aren't gonna work out don't have sex. Look at Amanda and Kyle. She could say the same thing. He doesn't have sex with you, but he's a great conversationalist. There you go.
And, like, Bailey obviously did not take it too serious to be like, oh, not gonna pursue this. Like, she went and had lunch with you.
Oh my God. Everyone needs to calm down. Don't ask your ex to rate you. It's gonna be bad.
Carl, like, this should prove to you that, like, there's nothing really you can say that will hurt Lindsay, because, like, look at everything she's saying about you.
I can't believe he hasn't learned. It's been 10 years. Don't call Lindsay Hubbard out at the dinner table ever.
Or, like, ask her to, like, be really nice to men. Like, just not worth it.
No, if he really had a problem, he should have been like, hey, Lindsay, one-on-one, I heard you told Bailey 2 thumbs down. But she probably would have been like, what the fuck do you care?
She would give the same response, Alicia. Like,
but
she does not
be at the dinner table in front of everyone. But it was funny. It was funny. Anyway, Kyle and Amanda have tension, which, nothing new. Then Carl is like, hey, everyone. This week, I invited KJ to a running event, and Dara was there, and they were so cute together. And KJ's like, yeah, we have great energy, and Dara is emotionally intelligent, and we see each other probably, like, every other day. And everyone's like, oh my God, that's moving way too fast. Ask Jesse Sullivan about moving too fast.
Oh
and
my God, the callback to last season.
Justice for Lexi at this point.
No,
Fuck
that relationship moved way too quickly. We all can agree upon that. But I think it's so funny that is the one thing to actually rightfully call both of them out on.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, let's run it back to how bad last season was. Don't do that, KJ.
I love the clip that they used, though, was the toe-sucking clip.
Well, because they were like, ask him about what else. Like, you should be honest. So then they, like, play the toe-sucking clip. And then, what else? Oh, don't throw Sierra under the bus.
Yeah. Yeah, don't use Sierra as collateral. And then Wes is like taking notes, and Ben's like 2 L's in collateral, which was so funny.
So
what a bit.
Funny.
What a bit.
Oh my God. I need to like do that. I'm gonna run that back.
And then Sierra says, also, don't talk to the press. Wes can tell you about that.
Yep.
And Wes says, And I wrote a lot of notes down, so stick with me. But
okay.
Wes says he empathized a lot with how the relationship ended, and he didn't know any better when he was doing interviews, but it was gross to talk about the relationship publicly, and he didn't grasp that until he was on the other side of it, and he sees Sierra way more than he did prior. And Sierra appreciates this, but it sucks that Wes had to watch Jesse go through it to understand his own action.
Yeah, like he had no empathy for her until he felt it for himself on a friend level, and then Jesse going through that. It's sad.
Yeah, and I think when you're in it, right, like, this doesn't excuse Wes, but like when you're in it, you're just thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you're removed and it's two people, you're able to see like both sides of it. But, like, yeah, it is sad that Wes couldn't see that until it happened to someone else.
Yeah, because also, like him and Sierra weren't together. So he's not thinking in a unit mentality by any means. Whereas whenever the Lexi situation went down, Wes, Jesse, and Sierra are all friends. And so they were kind of a unit of friendship even going through that. Where Wes was concerned about all of them being discussed. Where he didn't have that same outlook for the him versus Sierra item. Like, you do really just, like, focus on yourself and become kind of selfish. Yeah. And he chose the selfish route.
You want to save yourself in the public eye.
I see why he did it, like, what he did and how it went down. But that hurt someone.
It's just not right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I would not have been able to navigate that correctly. Like, I'm sure I would have fucked up a little bit. He went way too far.
Yeah.
Like, I could have seen myself talking about it in the press.
No, I completely agree, especially because, like, he had just entered reality TV as well, and he was just feeling the fame. And a big part of him breaking up with Sierra was that he didn't just want to be known as Sierra's puppet.
Yep.
So then, like, to get all this backlash, we talked about it, hurt the image he was trying to cultivate for himself. So he kept talking about it because he was kind of in, like, a fight or flight mode, I think, at that point. So he was fighting, but as he was fighting, he was taking Sierra down or he was, like, directly fighting against Sierra, which I don't think was his intention. His intention was to fight the backlash. But it in turn turned into...
But that's the machine that the press is. It's like he's just trying to comment on himself and clear his name or
but
like clarify his stuff.
Bringing up her.
It'll always... He's attached to her.
It'll always be them. Mm-hmm. The situation is them. So if you talk about the situation, you talk about her.
Yeah.
So then Sierra tells the whole table, because honestly, the whole table doesn't really know. Let's call it what it is. It's a table of white people and 3 black people. Sierra tells them there's also an interracial aspect that exists. And when she was getting blowback, being like the first black person in the house, and then she's dating white men publicly, it's a whole contraption that like no one in this house can understand or empathize with. And Wes said selfishly, he was also being called a racist and people were DMing his family. And he panicked and he thought if he could express himself and not say anything bad about Sierra, then it would be okay. But like it wasn't. So he does apologize. Right? Let's stop there for a second. Yeah.
It's so unfortunate to hear on both sides the experience they were both having because both are not okay. But I think a big theme that is going to come in the next part of this conversation is that is Sierra's experience constantly. Mm-hmm. And this is like a one-time, well, I hope a one-time thing for Wes being called like a racist. And he immediately needs to make it better for himself. And I think that's a very white person thing to do, is to center yourself in your pain.
Yeah.
Of being called a racist and trying to fix it rather than focusing on a person of color and their experience, which is 10 times the experience that you were experiencing.
That's it, because white people aren't taught on any level to like think before they act. They don't have to. Whereas people of color, specifically black people, a lot of times are taught like, even if something is happening to you or you're being called something, you have to think about how you act because that could directly affect your safety or like anything. So like Sierra had to think like, I can't just go out and do these interviews because there could be more backlash and I could be unsafe. Where Wes was like, oh, I can defend myself and not think about the consequences because I don't have to.
It's the privilege of defending yourself without having to think.
To think of the consequences. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then... I'm going to kill. This is Kyle. there was no other point this season that I've hated Kyle more than this conversation. Because
I know.
He goes...
I think he means well, but that doesn't make it different.
But that's it, is like, why is a white man then jumping in and going, it feels like we've made some ground, huh? We've made zero ground. We're at this point, we're just kind of expressing.
We're still listening. Yeah.
That's it. It's like, Wes has just apologized, but like, there's more to Sierra's story. So to be like, we've made some progress. Also, no, in the idea of like Black people in a predominantly white house on a predominantly white show in the Hamptons, which is a predominantly white area.
In a predominantly white network.
We've made zero progress on the big so one white man can apologize and it's like, we've made progress. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Who are you to decide that?
Shut the fuck up.
I think Sierra should decide if like progress has been made on people understanding her experience.
If it was KJ or someone being like, okay, it feels like we've made some headway, or like
you guys
Mia.
get a little bit about our life.
Yeah, but who the fuck is this white man to be like,
true.
Oh, we've done it. We've solved racism, you know?
I think I tuned Kyle out because, he definitely is that, like, he can't sit with an uncomfortable conversation. And in other factors of my life, I can't sit with silence, so you, like, feel the need to, like, fill it. But, like, these are moments to, like, check that within yourself.
Yeah, it's just not it. So Sierra knows that Wes respects her, but she just expected more out of him, which I think is fair, which, like, I shouldn't expect white people, but Wes has, like, shown us that he has
Black friends. You can have an expectation of people.
True. Wes has shown us that he has Black friends. Remember his first season, and Sierra's like, wow. And then, like,
she really took that. Yeah.
Yes. And then, like, he has KJ right here. And, like, also, if you're gonna date someone of color, you just have to, like, you should just be more aware. Like, it's not on us to tell you to be more aware, but, like, in your head.
It's a responsibility. You should really sit and, like, it's within yourself that you should have that heightened level of care.
Yes. But I think Wes does listen well. And I do think Wes is the kind of person that absorbs this and learns, and like,
agreed.
He will not make this mistake again. And he does say like he just didn't know then, and he apologizes, which I think is a really big thing, because a lot of people want to get defensive, and I like Wes being like, I just didn't know and I'm sorry for that. To be like, I'm wrong. I also think
it's hard. As a white person, I'm going to say this, that, like, there's a lot of assumptions and understanding you have to have, and you have to learn from people to know that they are living these experiences, because to know what's going on in her DMs because she dated a white guy publicly is not something a white person just knows unless it's happening, because you obviously have, just on a human basis, you know, an interracial relationship is much different than having one on a public scale. And so, like, as we said, like, he didn't understand the publicness of even the relationship. So I think it's just being willing to learn a lot more, and not just the, like, racialness, but, like, just you have no clue what the other person is experiencing, and, like, allowing a space for people to be vulnerable and share what they are dealing with.
I also think, as a person of color who has received, like, racially motivated messages before, like, just my whole life, which, like, I want to be clear is not to the extent of, like, that a lot of other people receive in this country, for sure, or worldwide. I also think I'm just, like, I'm so, like, I don't even know how to say it, but, like, I would never DM anyone anything racist. So I wouldn't even think a white person was getting racist shit for breaking up with a Black person. Like,
I never thought about this level of it.
If it wasn't because their breakup wasn't based off of race, so I would never think even Wes was going through that. You know what I mean? So I think, like, on both ends, I'm sure Sierra probably deals with it more, but, like, I think it's surprising for me on both ends to be like, I just could never comprehend this, and not being in the public eye as well. Like, the fact that people were doing that on both ends is so terrible.
I think a lot of times with, like, situations that, like, we're discussing here with Wes and Sierra, I have to really always take a step back and take out what I would do as a person, because I think I do look at a lens of, obviously the world is terrible, we talk about it all the time, but, like, in my heart of hearts, I think a lot of people are good at heart, and so then I just assume everybody approaching them has pure intent, or, like, is a good person and isn't racist, because I wasn't raised like to be outwardly racist. Obviously there is biases and things that go on, all that. But like, I just, like you said, can't comprehend people doing this. So then in my mind, it's not happening. And like, that's a privilege in itself that I need to like continually check myself on having. Like you said, you have experienced things I haven't. I am like, I'm a white person, and that is such a privilege for me to assume this isn't happening.
Yeah.
And not go on autopilot, because I know Sierra is getting racist stuff in her DMs.
Of course.
Like, I just know that is happening. But I never thought it was in the context of this relationship. And that is just something that I just do not understand on a central basis, being like a white person who has not dated like a black person on a public scale with DMs. Like, these are just like levels of like lack of understanding that I could ever have. So I'm so grateful for her opening up about this, because it constantly reminds me that like I know nothing, and like I just need to listen and hear, and I need to never be this. I need to make sure I check my friends when they comment on this. I need to not have friends who would ever comment rude things in DMs anyways but aren't racist. Like, it's about changing as much of my world as I can and listening to the large scale things that are happening on a public and a personal like way. Does that make sense?
Yes. It's also just like on a high level, I talk about this all the time, to DM people like hate is so insane already. Like
I don't get people who do that.
I think to an extent I expected people like more to be, I expect Sierra to get racist hate. Like, that's just unfortunately the world we live in. Yeah, terrible, terrible. But also like to be racist like privately, and then to tell someone like, this is my racism, I'm DMing you, is like a whole another level of like crazy I can't understand. Like, I don't understand being racist, and then I can't understand like going to this person and being like, I'm gonna tell you I'm racist. Like, that's crazy. I'll never DM.
Yeah.
Like,
and then she said that she had, you know, people of color telling her that then she was being played by a white person. So then you have both sides of like, I'll say audiences, people, because like I don't want to like congregate people together, but like you have, you know, people mad at her because she's black, and then people mad at her who are of color, who are mad she's dating a white person and being played publicly. It's like she literally could not win in any capacity. And then you have West adding to it. Like, oh my god, she could have done way worse to that man last season.
Yeah, to move on to your point, she got a lot of hate from people of color saying like, you let a white man play you on TV. And she says, like, that's how it looks to the whole world, but, like, you can't help who you love or are attracted to, and it's not just flirting. It's, like, deeper than people knew based off of the show, and she has to, like, brace for impact when the show airs, and this is where I started crying, because, like, it hasn't happened to me in a while, and, like, I don't care, but I used to be, like, at school, I'd be like, oh my god, if I'm in this play or I'm like in this dance recital, I have to brace for people to be like, oh, the Mexicans here, or like whatever they're gonna say, because it's happened before. They've been like, oh, the Mexican on stage, and I've been like, great. And it's never to the point of like, I think malicious racism, but I think it's like the microaggressions that I've received. So the fact that she nationally has to be ready at all points for basically her job, she's just trying to do her job, that is like heartbreaking to me. Like, that is so, I couldn't do it.
Because the scales of it, you know, she as a, again, at that base, as a person of color, she's constantly receiving hate every season. Then she like has this romance with Wes, which is like hard to watch back. And then for people to like root for them and be in her DMs rooting for them, knowing they're not like she knows they're not together, would be really painful. Then to have people hate her because she's dating a white man, like hate her because her and Wes are over, like she's not enough, like, and to know like there's this impending date that this will start would be so stressful, even in the off season of it. Like, you go through filming it, that's taxing. You get this downtime, but it's not really downtime because your anxiety is probably stressed out for the premiere, where for 4 months people are like berating you.
You don't know what's gonna air either, so you're like, I wonder how they're gonna cut it, make it look. And just existing as a black woman on a white network, right there, that is anxiety right there.
Look at Vanita. Like, I'm so proud that they have each other, because like we have Vanita over on Southern Charm.
She gets so much hate from
doesn't
her cast.
Have a supportive cast.
From her cast. Oh my, don't even get me started on Vanita. Oh my god.
I know.
Anyway, okay, so KJ starts getting emotional, and he says it's because his sisters go through this, and it's tough because it might seem like Sierra's complaining, but like this is fucking reality, and you always have to think like 20 steps ahead every time you do something, and it's not normal. And KJ doesn't expect like the table to understand because they're not in black skin, basically.
Yeah.
Like they won't get it. But even as like the first black man, he's like all the time trying not to fuck up on camera. Because then, you know, it's how he's perceived. And Mia comes in and she says she knows the conversation that KJ's had with people, like his parents and just his family, because her brother got that black men have to conduct themselves in different manners to not appear angry or scary. And that's like how the world makes them look. So they can't show emotion.
You have to be so cautious about what you put out because of how it's going to be perceived and twisted. And I remember we talked to Preston Mitchum over on Summer House Martha's Vineyard cast, and he was like, we don't get the same grace that the white like Summer House cast gets on partying and being crazy, because like ours gets twisted so easily. We have to be so cautious. It's not fair. It's the world that exists. And the stress that like they must be under of constantly checking their own behaviors, that's a lot. And that's a lot to ask of someone, to be perfect, and you will still get comments and be berated. Like, they are amazing people. Like, because anybody of any race can be a terrible person, can be a good person. These are really great people, and they will still be critiqued to the highest level because they are black.
Of course. And like, can you imagine if like it was a black man acting like Craig Conover does on Southern Charm? Because for the most part, Summer House, like, yes, you have like Kyle, but for the most part, they're all like good people. The black cast members just are probably honestly just better people because they come off the same, but they're more aware of it. Whereas like
they're working overtime to make sure.
Exactly. But then like if you go to a show like Southern Charm, God forbid Vanita steps 1 foot out of line, Craig freaks out at a dinner table. If that was a black man, do you know the backlash that would happen about how angry he is, how scary he is, how everyone felt unsafe? But Craig does it, and everyone's like,
Southern Hospitality.
You're right. You're right.
That it's not fair. Like, Brad is getting that where he texted Emmy like, fuck you, and now he's like,
you're
the
dead
angry
to
black
me
man.
too, because she said he's dead to me. And then she started this rumor. Oh my God, we have to talk about it because this is like it's so
all
on
interconnected.
Point.
Yeah.
But yeah, for those who don't know, this girl Emmy said her friend Bradley is dead to her. So Bradley said, you're dead to me too. Emmy went around and told everyone that Brad makes her feel unsafe. Brad is a black man. And
including production.
Yes. And Brad, because someone was like saying like, you need to apologize to Emmy, and Brad said to this person, she is actually dead to me, because to go around and say a black man makes you feel unsafe. Specifically in Charleston, South Carolina, that has just so many microaggressions that like no one has yet to call Emmy out. No one has yet to call Emmy out about that. Like, that is ridiculous. Which, in my book, Emmy is dead to me too, just for that. That's insane.
And I'm glad he is sticking up for himself over on that show. I wish Vanita had more people sticking up for her on Southern Charm. I am thankful that this show, so many names of shows.
Summer House.
This show, Summer House, has a cast who is sitting here listening, being receptive, because other like casts don't have that. And like, I am thankful that like it is a family dynamic. Amanda does say that. Like, they do really care about these people, and it doesn't seem performative at all to me. Like, they want to learn, understand their experiences, even if they will never walk the same path as them, and like do what they can to make the experience a positive one.
And I have to give flowers on Southern Charm to a little bit. It might change because I'm not caught up. But Maddie Reese does say to Brad, like, that's not cool that Emmy said that. Now, will Maddie hold Emmy accountable like she should as a white woman to a white woman? Yeah. I don't know yet. Don't spoil. But I like the Summer House cast a lot because this is not the first conversation they've had about race. But I've always said this, the Summer House cast, I think they're all really just good people. I really, really do think that. And I think that they're open to being like, hearing how they have privilege, right? And they know that. And this is how the black or the people of color cast members feel, because we had Danielle also talk about this, and she's Latin. and they are open to listening and they're open to protecting. Like, I guarantee if anyone heard someone say like, oh, Sierra or KJ or Mia makes me feel unsafe, this cast would go to bat for them 110%. And I think that's something to also recognize is like, they're not going to let anyone come at their, well, because of this season, they're Black cast members. Like, and that is final on this cast, which I really like. Because I can't say the same for Southern Charm, as we've seen. And I don't know if I can say the same about Southern Hospitality yet.
We shall see. But it also then allows these
really
beautiful conversations to happen. Because we as a society and the rest of the country need to watch these conversations happen. Because 100%. A lot of people aren't in such like close friendships with people of color that they should be, you know, like not everybody is as ingratiated as this cast is and like in a welcoming space. So to be able to on a public scale have so many people watch this conversation happen is so impactful. Like it really like hit me the impact that this has. And I'm so happy that Summer House has 3 Black cast members, for their own safety. Like they probably feel so much safer having other people who understand them around.
God, of course,
But then to share these voices, like we are very adamant and vocal about how upset we are that Summer House Martha's Vineyard is not on air anymore. And so within these white spaces, making sure that there are other voices is super important.
No, 110%. And it's very true. Like I grew up in a very, I would say, well, not very, but some semi-diverse area. Like Chicago is diverse, but I think I was so in my group, which like the suburb I grew up in was very white, that even moving to New York, I'm like learning still and being like, oh my God, what people used to say to me were actually like microaggressions, or like, oh my God, the way other Latin people or other people of color are being treated is crazy. And like just learning all these differences just because I moved to a different place. Yeah. And a lot of people don't have that ability to like leave where they're from. And so this opens up the conversation to be like, wow, this actually happens. I can be more aware of it without like, not saying without going to experience, because everyone should go experience different people from walks of life, but if you don't have the ability to, this is a way to learn.
Well, we talked about it with Vanderpump Rules, like with Shane's addiction. Like you may not come into contact with somebody initially, but to be able to learn through others' experiences on television, through social media, so then the first time you have an interaction, you actually like have your best foot forward because you've like learned something ahead of meeting someone. Like you don't have to practice on real people and like hurt their feelings and be like have microaggressions. We can all deconstruct ahead of time through other people's experiences and learn from each other is huge. Like that's all I'm sure people of color want is we can't change, you know, the past, and that is so unfortunate, but like every day we should be putting our best foot forward and being better people and like decentering the white voices and listening to other people. So like whether they're on your screen in your everyday life is so huge.
Yeah. Oh, this was a really good conversation. I'm like close to tears again. Anyway, so yeah, Kyle again talks, but he tries to say something of importance. He says like he has anger issues and he recognizes that, but he's like he can act however. I think he's trying to be like, see, white people do have privilege, like no one knew, but he's trying to connect. He really is trying to
run it through his own eyes to understand, to be like, if I was a Black man and I did what I did, what would my life be like? And it's like, okay, that is your version of empathy.
He's just thinking out loud. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone else says here it's their job to be there for the people of color in the house and support them and protect them in any way possible, which warms my heart because we do need to do that. We all need to do that.
I think that's a good like call to action reminder of like white people. Like you said, Maddie Reese needs to do that over on Southern Hospitality. Like if you have people of color in your life, like that is your responsibility.
Yeah, 100%. So then Amanda, to lighten the mood, is like, let's go around and all say something really nice about me. And Ben's like, not again. Ben has been silent this whole conversation and he's like, I'm not going to start talking now. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we get our mid-season trailer. So later this season, we boat, we golf, we party. Ben brings a girl to the house and thinks she's the one. Dara went to Ben's room according to Bailey, and now there's a fight. Wes and Sierra continue to repair their relationship and there's sexual tension. And Wes does something to anger Sierra. Amanda doesn't know what to do about Kyle. Carl and Kyle fight about how Kyle's fucking up his relationship. Ben did want to fuck Amanda in Italy, justice for Bailey. And Carl and Kyle get, I don't think they get physical, but they yell at each other and run around, and Amanda gets mad. Being physical is what I picture, like hitting. I think Carl
they are these types.
and Kyle just get up and walk around and yell at each other.
They're like, hold me back.
But like no one cares. Yeah, but then if it's Luke, Lindsay actually does have to hold Kyle back. Yeah. RTC style. Or what is it? ROC.
ROTC.
ROT. I was there. I was almost there.
Letter or two away. Switch them around. A little dyslexia for you.
Okay, should we do fun, not fun, Meredith? So it's odd, so that means it's your turn.
Good, because I deserve to go. We're going fun first.
Okay.
And I'm picking Sierra. That conversation was beautiful. And obviously all three of them. Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'm going to pick KJ. I'm so sorry, Mia. A little like gold star to you.
Listen, I'm going to put all three of them up there because like it is all three of them.
I think I'm just going KJ because he opened up about being a black man, which I think is important. And also I find him really endearing with Dara, and I like that as well. Yeah.
I'm just saying justice for me on calling out how fast it's going because the rest of the cast is too.
I think it's fine though. I'm like, okay. I'm not mad because we don't see it, I think. Like,
I know.
I'm just not
saying,
shoved
if they
in my
had
face.
hidden their relationship, I would be like, we're careening towards a cliff and this isn't good.
Nope, not them. Maybe that's it. I just already know the ending. So I'm like, it's fine. I want to be on the right side of history.
Like, if we didn't know, we would both be concerned here.
I already know who wins, so it's fine. I know who to root for. Okay, who's your not fun? There's ample. Actually, everyone was like, okay.
I know. This is so tough.
Go on. I always what?
My gut feeling, it's Wes, because how dare you get fucking drunk, do that to Sierra, make us all be on your side, just for you to be like, I don't have any memory of it. No, this is the one time. I'm never mad at people who black out as long as you can handle yourself. I'm pissed at you.
Yep. I think I'm going to go with Kyle just because he's an adult DJ and I know a lot of these and
Well, how many kid DJs do you know?
Well, it'd be
actually
less.
One, Kyle. Kyle's a kid DJ.
And it's not his birthday yet. We haven't gotten to the party. And also, like, Kyle, just shut the fuck up and erase conversation.
Really good point.
And I get he meant well. And I think at the end there, he was thinking out loud. But just, you're not, as the production plant, you don't always need to hit the beat. You could just let it play out for a second.
This isn't your time to hit beats.
Yeah, we're okay. We're fine. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Kyle. Yeah. Good. Great episode. It really did bring me to tears. I love our conversations like this.
Me too.
Oh, it's so good. Okay. Do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. We're halfway through the season. So exciting. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.